Hello traders, welcome back to my channel. If you are a smart money trader watching me and you want to increase your win rate, or if you trade market structure, everything ICT or whatever trend lines, and you want to improve your win rate, make sure that you watch this video till the end. I'm going to be sharing with you my entry. I'll share with you breakdown of trades that we took, and I'll share with you why I'm able to increase my win rate, guys. How you can be able to catch high risk to reward ratio trades, and then you know be able to improve, grow your account and all of that. So this video is basically on that. I'm going to be breaking down this trade to you as well, and I'll be sharing with you the confirmation that I usually use, which will make me hardly lose a trade. All right, so make sure you watch to the end. Make sure you click on the like button, click on the thumbs up. Make sure that you subscribe to this channel if this is your first time by hitting on the subscribe button and notification bell. See you after the intro. Okay traders, welcome to my channel.
I am Full Kingsley. By the grace of God, I bring to you guys strategies, tutorials on the forex market, volatility indices, metals like gold, Nasdaq, VIX75, many other instruments. You want to subscribe to the channel by hitting on the subscribe button and notification bell to not miss out.
So I'll basically be explaining the change of character entry confirmation, where you'll be able to increase your win rate anytime you are able to take a trade. So this is a confirmation where you don't just enter aggressively, you wait for confirmation so that you should be able to increase your win rate and hit TP most of the time. Right now, if you are a market structure analyst and then whatever, you should understand that market moves in swings. We usually have series of higher highs and higher lows, right? And most times when price comes back to a zone like this, price will usually leave behind a demand zone or a supply zone. You usually leave behind an order block, whatever you want to call it. So at this point in time, price might leave behind an order block like this, come back and mitigate. And what happened, the next thing, price might create the next order block, maybe somewhere there, come back and mitigate. Now many smart money traders are losing money because they just wait for price to come to an order block like that, and then they just place a limit order, and sometimes price will just manipulate them, hit their stop loss before moving in that direction. Right now, I want to share with you something that's going to help you improve your entry and then your win rate as well. Okay, now if you see price create a series of high, because normally when price creates a high, it breaks what we usually call this what we call a break of structure, right? We call this break of structure, what we call BOS. Now when this is a break of structure, it simply means that what price to continue creating new highs, it has to keep creating break of structure. This was another break of structure that led to a higher high, right? So break of structure will lead to a higher high, break of structure will lead to a higher high. Now when price is pulling back, right, we will usually identify the demand zone or the supply zone or the other block that associated with that zone there. Right at this point, we can have either a direct pullback or what we call a complex pullback, usually at that same time frame. Now if you look at this zone between this low and this high here, right, we call this the most recent low and this is the most recent high. Right now, anything in between most recent low and most recent high is known as internal structure. We call it internal structure. Now we have two types of pullbacks. Price can just pull back like this to your key zone where you're looking to enter, but we are going to look for confirmation, like I said, or we have what we call the complex pullback. Now in this complex pullback, price will create a what we call another market structure, creating series of higher highs and higher lows. If you zoom in the smaller time frame, you are going to see exactly that. Right, you see that price is creating this, and you can still take advantage of this if you are a scalper or maybe catching this into a swing. But anything in between is what an internal structure. Right, but now we have two things involved. Either price breaks the previous high and create the next high, which is known as a break of structure, or change character, what we call change of character, to break below. But we are not emphasizing on explaining more on market structure. We might have to make videos on that separately, but now this is I'm just explaining this key thing that you have to understand. Now when price pull back to this key zone, what you usually do is drop. Now when price start pulling back, drop to smaller time frame. We want to use the change of character confirmation, because now price will be doing a complex pullback in a smaller time frame. Now it's creating series of lower lows and and lower highs. So at this point in time, you realize that we have price creating low high low high low high low high. So at this time we have a downtrending market in a smaller time frame, and if you look at it, we continuously have what break of structures as well. We have break of structures in that same time frame. We have break of structures here. We have break of structure as well. So we have break of structure, break of structure, break of structure. But now you realize that for this trend to continue upward, to show that this longer term is upward, price has to do what we call change of character by what moving, because it has to move back and break above that previous high that was created. Now when it reach, we have already marked at this was our order block zone, right? So we want to be buying. We don't just want to buy as most traders will do. They'll just identify an order block, wait for price to come and hit, and then they enter. Sometimes you get stopped out many times before price moving in a direction. What we want to do is we want to wait for what we call change of character. Sometimes price will come down like this, go right below the zone here, hit most stop losses. What we do, we wait for price to change character. When it change character, we wait now for price to pull back, and then we take our entry. Because at this point in time, because price has broke above this previous high here, we'll call it what? We call it a change of character. Okay, based on the smaller time frame where we are looking for confirmation. It could be the 1 minute, it could be the 5 minute, depending on which one is our bigger time frame. Because at this point in time, remember, as price was moving down, price has not succeeded to break this high. It hasn't broken this high, it hasn't broken this high, it hasn't broken this high. So at this time it came down and then finally broke this high here. So we wait for price to pull back. We mark the other block that is here, and then you realize that what happened next is price is going to rally up, and then we catch that big move. So simply that is how we use change of character confirmation. You see that most people that rush into entry in this other block maybe got stopped out only for price to later on give those number of pips, right? So that's what we want to be looking for, right? I'm going to go to my charts and I share with you the live. All right, so this is what we had on Bitcoin USDT. Remember, this strategy applies to all markets, guys. Don't bother what instrument or what pair I'm using to demonstrate. You can use it to trade anything. Just understand the explanation well, right? Now if we go to the 30 minutes, based on this, we are going to see that price is in an uptrend after creating series of highs and lows, right? And if you look at it, the other block that have been created here is this other block, right? Let's just clear this out. At this point in time, this is what we call an order block. For those people who do not know what order blocks, if you are new to this channel, an order block is the candlestick that was formed before the huge body imbalance candle was formed, meaning that an order block is formed when the next candle that form is a big bodied candle, and then the next candle that form after that big body candle does not overlap. That is, the wick does not overlap with this wick, meaning it leaves a space in between, what we call fair value gap, right? This is a fair value gap here. If you look at these candlesticks above here, you see that all of this, they have not created fair value gap. This week have overlap with this week. This week there's no fair value gap. The only gap is here. So the candlestick that creates a gap, the one that was created before that candlestick, is known to be an order block, because it shows that this is where the institution, the big market movers, were able to move price fast, right? This is the area where they started moving, and when price pull back to this zone, they will usually take the remaining of their trades. They took their first trades here, right? And then the indication that they took the trade was based on the candlestick that was formed after. They are only the institution that can form this type of bodied candles, right? So at this point, we wait for price to come back to this zone for them to be taking their remaining trades. That's where we are going to be taking it to. But now many traders, they have understood that that's what most traders are doing. But so sometimes they will just come, do something like that, hit stop losses before they continue taking the remaining of their trades, right? But now we want to wait for confirmation. Now, based on our demonstration that we made earlier, once you identify this in a bigger time frame, you can go to a smaller time frame like the 5 minutes, right? You can go to the 5 minutes or the 1 minute. Now if you look at it based on the 5 minutes, right, you are going to realize that we have a complex pullback here, like I explained earlier on. The price will be creating series of lower lows, lower lows, and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, until when it gets to this zone here. But now, as price is doing that, we want to ensure, right? We want to ensure that price does not that price actually changes character. When it hits this zone, it should maybe change character, create a new high like that. Then we are going to be marking the next demand or the next order block that's below here to be taking our trade, right? We don't just want to enter as price comes back, right? So what we do is we just play it out. So you see that at this point in time, we have many traders who already took their buys. Maybe this was just an inducement candle for those who are looking at it based on this time frame, and then maybe they have their stop losses below the zone and all of that, right? Okay, so if you look at it now, what happened here is this. We had this is the high that led to this low, this high led to this low, right? So at this point in time, this is what we have. And what we have, a change of character. Price came, got rejected, and finally we had a change of character. Now what happened? This candlestick closed above the previous high that we had here, which is known as a change of character, right? So we call that a change of character because the high that actually led to this low, because remember, this is the most recent high and this is the most recent low, right? And like I said, explained earlier, anything in between here is internal structure. So if you see anything that lies between this most recent high and then the most recent low is known as internal structure. So for this trend to be confirmed, that we want to be looking for buy based on what we see in the bigger time frame, or for this other block to have confirmed to have held, we need price to break above this box here, which is the internal structure, or it breaks above this high. But if it happens that price does not break above this high and instead breaks below this low here, then we are not going to be buying, right? So even though we are still at the other block zone, we are not going to be buying except we see a good confirmation, right? This will increase your win rate. So at this point in time, I already know this. So what I do is I simply mark out my other block, because now let me just clear this out. This was meant for demonstration so that we can see clearer, right? So at this point in time, we have a change of character. When we have a change of character, what do? We are now looking to buy. So what should we be looking up to buy on? We should be marking what? The other block that have been created due to the change of this move, right? So this is the other block that have been created here. So we are going to be looking to be entering as price pull back to this other block, right? So at this point in time, what we do is, even from the 1 minute time frame, right, you can still identify it based on the 1 minute time frame. You will still see it clearer. This is the 1 minute time frame, right? We still had lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. Right happened, we had a change of character. You can see it's so clear right there, right? Because this is the high that led to this low here. Sometimes you can just go to a higher time frame so that you should avoid noise. If you're a new trader, you might think that this is a high. No, this is the high that actually led to this low, right? So as price books above there, you can identify the other block that have been created based on that. So at this point in time, we want to wait for price to pull back to this zone here, and we want to also be identifying our liquidity. This is our liquidity that has been created, because if you see those equal highs there, price is leaving liquidity below this zone here. So what we do with that confirmation, we can now place our buy limit order around this other block here. Okay, we have our stop loss here, right? So at this point in time, there is one thing you need to also pay attention to. Now going back to the 5 minutes time frame, you need to pay attention to the next order block that was created. This is an order block that have been created here while price was coming down. Sometimes price will react to this order block and go down, maybe even go and break through the initial 30 minutes order block. So at this point in time, this should be your first target here, right? And then you have your second target, maybe there, if you have vast with taking many trades. And then guys, I've showed you guys how I took one of these trades on Bitcoin live, and then I was able to grow one prop from account where I made 6k. Guys, you can watch the video. This was the same entry technique. So at this point in time, what we do is we wait for price to come back to our zone to execute our trade, right? So price did not come back yet, so we were just patient and we're waiting. And you can see when we started, I actually showed you guys what happened. Okay, so price came and then mitigated this zone here, and many traders also enter. In fact, I took a little trade here too when it came back, because at this point in time we had this to be a change of a break of structure now, because we already have an uptrending market, series of high low price. I was expecting a high there, and then I was just a little bit impatient by taking this trade, to be honest. But I was supposed to just wait to take only one trade, which was this one here, right? And then what happened? Let's see what finally happened. Price respected this order block a little bit, and then since that was not based on any confirmation, it was not a very good trade setup. In fact, we are placing it since it's a pending order, right? And what happened there? We had price executed. Wow. So if you look at it, look at that entry as sniper entry there, and look at what happened later on. Let's see what finally happened. Target got hit. Packet got hit, guys. So that is it. Now you see now that we look at the risk to reward ratio, guys, just because we had to use this confirmation. Now many traders who take a trade, sometimes if you take your trade based on this kind of entry like this, sometimes you are going to have to place your stop loss below here, and then you are going to incur a wide stop loss. And many times there are many times where price will come below this zone here and go up. And guys, if you see a situation where price comes below an order block, right, it comes below an order block like this maybe, and hit this stop and then goes up, right, sometimes you come back to mitigate this zone here. You can enter here as well, and you see that you are still going to catch that move there. Use the same entry technique that I've showed you, change of character confirmation, right? You are just confirming, you are looking at what the 30-minute or the 1 hour or the 4 hours order block zone, right? This is it here, right? And what you do is you don't enter immediately, you drop to the 5 minutes time frame or the 1 minute time frame. You look at what happened, the internal pullback. We wait for price, the most recent low that created the high. You look for where we have a change of character. You identify the order block under the change of character. That's where you place your limit order, and then you catch the move price. So this is another trade in which we are currently looking at. This is a direct entry though, but we are going to wait for a change of character. We have also given the signal in our VIP. You also want to take part, make sure you write us up. Our link is in this video description below and the pinned comment. Join our Telegram channel so that you can be able to benefit from some of these things. So what I'm expecting based on this particular trade is I want price to actually change character. Look at the 1 minute time frame, and I know that price at this point in time, price is already creating, after creating this internal pullback, we have price change character already. So I'm waiting for price to pull back to this order block here. If price pulls back to this order block, I'm going to get another beta entry where we are going to have a very tight stop loss like this, and then we are going to go on to cash even 1:10 risk to reward ratio, right? But if it happens that price does not pull back, or maybe if it does not pull back, we benefit. But if it pulls back and break below here, we don't take any additional trade again. So thank you so much for watching. If you found any value in this channel, give me a thumbs up, guys. Make sure you subscribe by hitting on the subscribe button and notification bell if you are new. And like I say, you can join us on Telegram. Our links will be in this video description below. Join our various social media platforms. We are also going to include the links. See you in the next video.